During a congressional hearing, Adam Schiff was reading from a piece of paper where he claimed that Trump made some absurd statements. This was him reading fake quotes into essentially congressional record. It turns out, after people criticized him, he said it was just a parody. And now here's what happens. The first clip of him pretending to read this parody goes viral. The correction, it's just a joke, doesn't. Why should somebody at a hearing, why should a politician be doing a bit during a congressional hearing? It's disgusting. Well, now we have this. Trump demands Schiff resign over the parody reading of Ukraine call. He got caught. Well, Trump, the way Trump's framing it is that he wanted to read this fictitious thing into the record. And because people called him out for it, he was forced to say it was a parody. Now it's being reported, even by Fox News, it was a parody. No. Hold on. That's his framing. When I first saw this, I was watching. When I first saw the clip, okay, so I was watching the hearing, and then people started putting this clip up on Twitter. It's not overt. Okay, let me say this. I didn't believe it was real. When he was reading it, I was like, what is this? Is he making this up? But as you know, MSNBC also made something up too. They're all doing it. And this fake news is spreading and people believe it. And then he goes, it's just a parody. The bigger question is, why would he be doing a joke? It makes no sense. Well, let's read the story. Excuse me. President Trump called Friday for House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff to resign for fraudulently reading out a hyperbolic account of Trump's controversial July phone call with Ukrainian president. Rep. Adam Schiff fraudulently read to Congress, with millions of people watching, a version of my conversation with the president of Ukraine that doesn't exist. He was supposedly reading the exact transcribed version of the call, but he completely changed the words to make it sound horrible and me sound guilty. Now, for what it's worth, Adam Schiff's reading was ridiculous. In it, he says, he's like, and Trump said, I'm listen closely, I'm only going to say this 7 more times, blah, blah, blah. The point is, when someone's doing comedy, the context is important. We need to know that you're doing comedy. If you're a politician and someone is testifying before you and you start reading a joke and then people are going to be like, what is this? What? Is he serious? Because we don't expect you to make up fake quotes regardless of whether or not we're supposed to be laughing at a congressional hearing. Is that what's supposed to happen? Adam Schiff's supposed to go up and be like, check this out, reads it, and we all just laugh? If it was a joke, he would have said, that was a joke, I'm sorry. No, it was after he got yelled at. Trump says, he was desperate and he got caught. Adam Schiff therefore lied to Congress and attempted to defraud the American public. He has been doing this for 2 years. I am calling for him to immediately resign from Congress based on this fraud. Well, hold your horses there, Trump. That's too far in the other direction. I don't like any of these people, man. You can pick any politician and I'm going to be like, don't like that person. There's maybe like a dozen people I like. And when it comes to Congress, the 2 names on the top of my head is going to be Tulsi Gabbard and Dan Crenshaw. And they're not perfect people. And they've both proposed bad ideas. But I think they're both good people. Adam Schiff is not a good person. But, look, I can point to any one of these slimy little politicos. The thing about politics is, in a sense, I would love to sit down with lawmakers and discuss ideas and work on behalf of the American people to make this country better. But I don't want to. You know why? Because you have to be a slime bag to actually make it. Now look, there's a handful of politicians who are good people who win. They exist. I like them. Tulsi Gabbard is an excellent point. And I'll do this. Tulsi Gabbard defies Pelosi. No compelling cause for Trump impeachment. She's right. There's a tiny group of people who are honorable and good people. But for the most part, the point I want to make is there is nothing on this planet that would ever make me want to be in a room with these people, even Tulsi. As much as I respect her, there's too much swamp, there's too much dirt, there's too much grime. And you look at what these politicians do, and that's listen. The reason politics is so dirty is that it requires dirty people who want power. When it comes to getting elected, Do you think any one of these people, they spend time researching the facts and figuring out how things work so they can come into office and make changes? No, they're sitting there going over marketing details, trying to figure out how to convince someone to vote for them. They don't know anything, and then they do this crap. So, you know what? The dramatic reading happened Thursday when Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph Maguire was on Capitol Hill to defend his handling of the whistleblower complaint about the call that touched off a formal impeachment inquiry this week. The complaint and the transcript of that call, both released this week, detailed how Trump urged President Volodymyr Zelensky to investigate Democratic presidential Joe Biden and his son. Now, if you haven't, go to youtube.com/timcast. Watch my video from earlier. It's only scratches the surface on what's going on, but this may actually be what Joe Biden was doing, a U.S. intelligence operation. And I gotta say, man, this company, Burisma, they have a former CIA dude, a director, like on their board. And the person blowing the whistle on Trump, CIA official. It's very, very strange, to say the least. There's a lot of talk about Biden's son. We know all this. I don't want to rehash this old story. Here's what I want to do. I want to show you this. Tulsi Gabbard, she's awesome. She's fantastic. Look, I get it. There, diehard Trump supporters think she's lost her marbles and she's just another, lefty and all that stuff. But okay. If you are a diehard Trump person and you think Tulsi is just another crazy leftist, I absolutely won't argue with you about it. Okay, I happen to like a lot of her policies, not all of them. I think she also has. I think she has a decent amount of bad policies too. But there's a lot of things that I really like. For one, she's been moderate on a lot of issues. But in the end, there are two big factors I want to highlight right now. For one, armed forces. Major in the National Guard, thank you. I would like my commander-in-chief to have that experience, okay? So there are a few people that I truly respect that have served this country, and I'm a moderate lefty. The other thing is, though, it's this story right here. Tulsi Gabbard, and there's another guy, I think it's Max Rose. Now, he's been criticized, but anybody who's not willing to play this game, and there's a decent amount of Democrats who aren't playing, so that's great. Trump should not be impeached. Let me say it again. Trump should not be impeached. Whether or not anything comes of it, there's Orange Man bad is not enough to impeach the president. Now they're going to claim he abused the office. No. There's so much, it's not just about that. For one, you can't win. He won't be convicted. There's no compelling evidence. You haven't shut up about this. But Tulsi Gabbard, the transcript, no compelling case for this. So even she, as a Democrat member of Congress, is saying, looking at the transcript, there's nothing here. Well, here are the Democrats not in favor of impeachment. These people have my respect. You've got Anthony Brindisi, you got Joe Cunningham, Tulsi Gabbard, Jared Golden, Kendra Horn, Ron Kind, Connor Lamb, Ben McAdams, Colin Peterson, Max Rose, I'm sorry, New Mexico rep, I can't pronounce your name. I'm trying to be mean. Xochitl, Torres Small, and Jeff Van Drew. Listen, Pelosi resisted, and I'll respect that too. You cannot like the president. You can disagree with his attitude. You can disagree with his policies, but you do not win this way. You are not winning hearts and minds. You know what I'm going to do? I made my point on this. I'm gonna go into the Greta Thunberg thing real quick. The next stories I have coming up have nothing to do with this, but listen. Greta, this environmentalist, goes up on stage and gets all angry, and it's this, boy, do I have a negative reaction to what she's doing. It greatly offends me. How dare you? Stop. What the Democrats are doing, what the left is doing with cancel culture, with Greta, with impeachment, they are grabbing people who disagree with them and shaking as hard as they can and screaming as loud as they can, and that convinces no one. It convinces no one. It makes the problem worse. So there you go, Schiff. I don't know what you think you're doing, this joke. It's not a joke. It's something that people take seriously, but he apparently doesn't. So let me just end by saying, if he wants to go up on at a congressional hearing and parody the president, okay, then he clearly doesn't think it's a serious matter. If he doesn't, why should I? If he thinks it's his opportunity to get a laugh out of the crowd, why should I bother sitting down and listening to what ththese people have to say? Because they have nothing to say. That's it. They have nothing to say. So you know what? I don't want to hear it. Look, the viral clip of what he was reading, what MSNBC said, you have to realize there are a lot of people who don't know you're trying to make a joke. How many people now are like, wow, I heard, did you hear what he said? And that clip's going to go viral. The lie travels halfway around the world before the truth straps on his boots. So anyway, look, I'm glad there's people like Tulsi pushing back on the insanity. And I'm disgusted by people like Schiff. I hate almost every politician anyway. So, stick around. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.